Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Rakash, and of course, once again, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, branch of Great Millstone. Back for another video. Also, like to send out salutations to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across four corners of the earth, aided, of course, by the numerous amount of videos that are uploaded, go out to provide edification to the masses, all right, to the hopefully elect, especially. And hey, well, let's just get right to it. Let me get this copyright disclaimer for me. All right, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, so here we go. Let's get to it. This is Taylor House. This is introvert rockstar. I haven't used him in a little bit, but he's right on point. He usually gets the news. Him and Taylor House Publishing. You know, as far as when it comes to Jake, the increase in lynchings, the truckers that be out. You know, it's really sad, but you don't see that reported in the mainstream media like it needs to be. Of course, we know what that's all about. They're trying to downplay it, but here we have a situation where the Jake farmers, you know, they've never gotten their due respect, and they just turned down Trump's $12 billion so-called aid, and he's going to go into how all along under the Biden administration, when it was proposed, I think it was $4 billion or something like that for black farmers, white farmers sued, of course, and see, they've been doing this all along, and we have been. Well, he's going to tell you. I'm not going to jump the gun, but this is what we're dealing with here. This is fucked up, man. I mean, we need to get the fuck up out of here. All right, and if you're of the lot that think we're ever going to receive any type of fairness, any type of due justice here in America, and you're a fool. All right, so let's go ahead and run this video, and just remember, they keep coming up with these schemes, and Jake is seeing through it.
Organization representing black farmers across the country opting out of President Trump's $12 billion Farmer Bridge Assistance Program. Action News 5 Sydney Gray heard from the organization and explains why.
This is where the Black Farmers and Agriculturalists Association is based here in Memphis. This group represents thousands of black farmers all across the country, and its president is calling out this particular funding, saying that it's racist.
Ordinarily, BFO would not be indifferent to the plight of all farmers.
But President Thomas Burrell says his organization had to take a stance against President Trump's new $12 billion Farmer Bridge Assistance Program.
In light of circumstances and events that have happened over the last several years, culminating in denying African American farmers and the sons and daughters of African American farmers the same rights and privileges that now the administration says it is going to make sure that is guaranteed to farmers in general.
President Trump announced the new aid Monday. The money would be paid in late February.
We're going to make the farmers so strong.
They're only doing this because, as you know, since he got back in office this term, it hadn't even been a full year yet. why these so-called white farmers have been losing their asses. I mean, it is really bad. This is the only reason he's doing anything. And now he's going to come around and Jake is just saying, you know what, fuck you.
And I'm not even talking about financially, because they just want to be able to produce what they can produce. And we're going to make them so strong that it will be indeed a golden age for farmers.
But Burrell says the U.S. has not entered into trade agreements with African countries, nor does the $12 billion include farmers who harvest tobacco, sugarcane, peanut, pork, and livestock. Many of those farmers are black.
African Americans owned 20 million acres of land in 1910, but as a result of systemic discrimination, have lost virtually all of that land.
Burrell also notes $4 billion meant for minority farmers by the Biden administration due to discrimination. Money he says never made it to black farmers because white farmers, he says, filed lawsuits to stop the payments.
I think that it's time that fairness becomes, in a very simple word, something that the government would embrace. Fairness.
It's not a matter of don't give it to A. The question is, if you're going to give it to A, why are you not going to give it to B?
In downtown Memphis, Sydney Gray, Action News 5.
Now, BIFA plans to file an injunction against the Trump administration to stop the payments. In response from the White House, they say, quote, the president's announcement reflects the president's commitment to helping our farmers who will have the support they need to bridge the gap between Biden's failures and the president's successful policies taking effect. Burrell said he'd be more than willing to meet with the president to discuss a solution.
And look, you already know on this channel we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? If you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. Since 1910, black farmers were driven off their land through violence, biased courts, and government discrimination. White mobs, unfair foreclosures, and denied loans, especially by the USDA, made survival nearly impossible. Millions of acres were lost, destroying black generational wealth and reducing black land ownership from a major share to less than 1% today. Make that make sense. And I keep telling y'all over and over and over again, there's nothing new under the sun. These people have always been our original haters. Didn't have the audacity to tell black Americans you're lazy. Didn't have the audacity to tell black Americans stop looking for handouts. Didn't have the audacity to tell black Americans, oh, get over the past. All along, they've been doing shady things to hold our people back. All along, they've been the ones getting handouts all alone. I swear to God, I'm about to spaz out in this video, but before I do, run the goddamn tape.
So the tragic answer to this question is that most of them don't make it work. Like, the population of black farmers has been declining way faster than the population of white farmers. And a lot of that is because a lot of those white farmers did everything they could to exclude us from the welfare programs that they depend on. Now, black farmers did a lot of things to kind of try to get around it. Who cares? Money. Like invent the CSA so that the community could give money ahead of time to farmers because USDA wouldn't pay for their operating loans. But when you have a community that is already economically oppressed.
You hear that? The USDA will not pay for Jake's loan. Damn shame. Damn shame. Alright? This is what we mean when we tell you never trust your enemy. And, you know, for the most part, Jake lately has just stepped back and said, you know what? And this is what has got them confused. Because Jake is not out there in the streets protesting. What's wrong with these? Because you have to understand, they some of their funding, all right, depends on the surveys and shit that they take. I'm trying to find another word for it. Where they try to predict how Jake is going to react, you know, for like marketing and shit like that. It even goes towards marketing, you know. And Jake is just not acting like they usually do. And it's got them like, what the fuck is going on? you know, by and large, Jake is just tired of bullshit, you know. And it's real unusual for Jake in mass to do something right for a change, you know. You're seeing videos where these YNs are like, you know, we're tired of this shit. We're tired of being, you know, known as YNs, you know. Hey, you can only hope, right? But we know that that ain't gonna work. Trust me when I say this devil has something planned. But, you know, we use scriptures like Sirach 12 and 10, never trust our enemy. And, you know, lately I've been on Proverbs 26th chapter. Let's get that real quick, because this devil is excellent. He's an expert with his words. All right, let's go to Proverbs 26. All right. He that hateth disassembleth with his lips. All right. And they do hate us. All right. And layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fairly, when he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Now let's go to Sirach real quick. I already told you. All right, verse 10, you know. Never trust thine enemy. When you go down here, all right. 16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. And that's been these so-called
I think black.
these Edomites, you know. You have to like pay close attention to every word that comes out of their mouth. All their contracts, it's all about deceit. All right, here we go back to the video.
Black Wall Street, think Red Summer, all that stuff. There's a limited amount of prosperity that's going to come from, you know, black dollars trading back and forth. So while the innovations that black farmers made were able to save some farms, and it's probably the reason that any black farm still exists, it wasn't enough to keep black farm closures from outpacing everybody else's. So in the end, black farmers still deserve and need access to the socialistic programs that keep all farms afloat.
And you already know what I say. Make that make sense. And every time we mention the Red Summer of 1919, every time we mention Black Wall Street, people get uptight. They hate hearing us talk about our past, what happened in history, but they never tell the other racists to stop talking about their history. They come to this country and they want to learn the Caucasian history. They want to learn.
Raise your hand if life feels like a lot right now. Hi.
From that shit. They want to be a part of that shit. They never tell them to shut up, but they love to tell us to shut up. They love to tell us, oh, that's the past. They act like this stuff never happened. They act like these evil ass people didn't do everything they can do to hold our people back. When they saw us making progress, they did everything they can do to try to stop us over and over and over again. Tell me I'm lying.
Over and over.
And this article is by Action 5 News. It was published December 12, 2025. Black Farmers Group opts out of President Trump's $12 billion aid program. The $12 billion program does not include farmers who harvest tobacco, sugarcane, peanuts, pork, and livestock. Many of those farmers are black, he said. African Americans owned 20 million acres of land in 1910, but as a result of systematic discrimination, have lost virtually all of that land, he said. The association president also referenced $4 billion meant for minority farmers by the Biden administration due to discrimination. Money, he said, never reached black farmers after white farmers filed lawsuits to stop the payments. Make that make sense. So recently, These racist ass Caucasian farmers, they was on the news begging Trump for help. They was praying to Trump for help. But behind closed doors, they was filing lawsuits against the black farmers so the black farmers wouldn't get any aid. $4 billion. That money was owed to them. They was filing lawsuits so they couldn't get that money. I told y'all the game is cold, but this the cold part. Their racism runs deep in their veins. This shit ain't new. This been going on. Matter of fact, check this out. The Red Summer of 1919 wasn't a riot. It was a racial terror. Black Americans, including war veterans, were attacked for demanding dignity, work, and equality. Communities were burned, families were unalived, and the state often stood by or joined in. Make that make sense. And how ironic, none of this stuff is in our history books. None of this stuff is taught in school. Look at all the stuff they did to our people to try to stop us, to try to stop our progress. And they weren't gangster. They just had the U.S. government and the U.S. Army on their side. But the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Check this out. During the Great Depression, many farmers suffered, but the system didn't respond equally. White farmers were far more likely to receive government loans and protections, while black farmers were excluded, pushed off their land, and erased.
Yep.
Both struggled, only one was helped back up. Make that make sense. And that's why they called it the Roaring 20s. Of course you're going to roar and thrive in the 1920s after you stole our land, 20 million acres of land that black Americans owned, and they stole that. They took that, you know, and our people fought back. Don't think our people never fought back. We fought back. But how are you going to fight back against the U.S. Army? How are you going to fight back against the U.S. government and these people at the same goddamn time? See, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about the part where we fought back, but we did. We did. But they had the army on their side. They had the whole system on their side. So that's why they thrived in the 1920s, all the way up until the Great Depression. So when I tell y'all, we don't ask for handouts. We don't get handouts. We have to earn everything. It's no such thing as a DEI for a black person. We have to own everything in this country. It been that way. They the ones that's been getting handouts since 1910. They've been getting government assistance, but they really mad at us because they had a 400-year head start and we still running circles around them. No matter what they did to us, slavery, the crack era, we still running circles around them, and they mad at that. They can never stop that. That's why they telling you, oh, yo.
Now, how weak and pitiful do you have to be? And we know that's what's actually behind it, is jealousy and envy. All right, here are people that you had in complete subjection, and in 1 or 2 generations, all right, after child slavery, they outdid you. These are some pitiful motherfuckers for real.
No college degree means nothing. That's why they're telling you, oh, nursing is no longer a profession, because they have to do whatever they can do since the beginning of the time history. They have to do whatever they can do to keep black people down, to keep holding us back so they can keep up, so they can catch up. They have to keep knocking us back so they can catch up, because we always run in circles around them. No matter what they do to our people, we always find a way out, and they hate that shit. So shout out to the black farmers, man, for standing on business and not taking that money. If we all can't get it, we don't want it. I keep telling y'all, the game is cold, son. I'm out.
There you go. That's going to be the end of this video. Yeah, let's see some of the comments here. Some of the black farmers say they don't want the government monies because they don't trust them. Many say they're doing all right for their farms since they never got any money from the government. May the Most High continue to bless our black farmers as we support them. All right. Bottom line, this place has to go. All right. It says don't take the money because they would take the last of our black farmers' land. Yeah. Bless these farmers. Again, black farmers do not need to get any of that money. It will be used to find a way to take their land. Yep. 6 replies. Let's see. Remember, Vance has investment in farms. All right. Waiting for them to. Yeah, J.D. Vance, the vice president. I'm glad someone mentioned that, because he does have stock in It also says yes, and that's what Bill Gates has been working on, taking control of all the land. Yeah, there you go. So he's with some, does it have to do with Peter Thiel also? I don't forgot the name of that outfit that J.D. Vance is with, but yeah, they be getting farmland. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the farmers wanted the Jake farmers won a lawsuit against the USDA for discrimination, but the white farmers filed a lawsuit claiming reverse discrimination. You see? This is shit that's owed to us for past wrongs. And look what they do. How was that even allowed? We gonna countersue because, but they said discrimination and racism didn't exist, but they can file a reverse discrimination lawsuit. Make it make sense. Let's see. We need the black millionaire support. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That's more. Get the point. I'll just put the link if you want to check into the more into the comments. You can do so. I'll just put the link of this video and of course in the description box. So with that, hey, until the next video. Again, remain circumspect out here. These something's coming here. All right. So until the next video.